Hello, and welcome to episode 59 on Second Thought with Mike and Matt. He's Matt. I'm Mike. Thank you for taking some time out of your World Cup soccer viewing to listen to a couple old guys ramble on about stuff, assorted stuff. Have you been watching any of the football, Matt?
I have not. Well, I mean, I can't say I haven't. I've bits and pieces here and there, but I haven't watched a full match as of yet. It's very early in the tournament, and that many games to play. I have no idea who to root for. I mean, obviously USA, I guess, but yeah, there's a lot of games, a lot of tournaments happening right now.
Now, did the Cincinnati hosting any games or no?
No, they did not. No. There's apparently like some teams practicing here, but no like actual matches. I know we tried to get some couple games here to play where FC Cincinnati plays downtown, but I guess that didn't pan through.
I like
what about Boston? Is there anything in Boston?
Well, they're playing at Boston Stadium. This is what I was just going to talk about. That they've renamed all the stadiums for this World Cup. So the Patriots play in Foxborough, which is about 45-ish minutes south of Boston. But now it's no longer they're not saying that they're playing at Gillette Stadium. It's Boston Stadium.
Because of advertising or something?
I don't know. But all the stadiums got like renamed, rebranded, or whatever for this tournament.
Okay.
So the other kids are upstairs watching it. They're, I'd say they're casually interested in it. When it's on, they'll watch it. Right now, I think they're watching like Ecuador versus Ivory Coast. A regular barn burner. And earlier today it was Netherlands, Japan. So
yes, that was on earlier.
Yeah,
it's hockey also, but soccer is one of them things where it's more fun to watch in person than on TV. I have a hard time watching hockey on TV also, but I love to go to a game when the Cyclones are downtown to watch a Cyclones game. But on TV, it's difficult. And soccer's the same way for me.
It's funny how I just know the rules of all four major sports. I don't know any of the rules in soccer. Other than you can't touch the ball with your hands, it just looks like a bunch of people running around and there's supposedly offsides and not really clear on what. So I'm not really up to speed on soccer. That's why it's a little bit difficult for me to watch it because I don't know the ins and outs. Where hockey, I can watch on television, no problem, and understand it, very, very, very easily and follow the puck, But ugly American, not up in my soccer. Anywho, before we were pressed the record button, we were complaining about certain brown spots on our lawn, not our underwear, and and
that's where our wives. That's where our wives step in.
And I just, I've been doing a lot of walking. I've been doing a lot of, we're getting ready for a graduation party here in a week. So we've just been doing errands. And I tell you, Matt, this is my least favorite time of the year. This is a me problem. Many times in this podcast, you hear Mike say, this is a me problem. It's how my brain is wired. I do not like clutter.
Nope.
And weeds are really starting to bother me, especially those viney weeds that like the vines like stick straight up and then they're looking for something to climb onto. And you know how some people run across America for various charities or mow lawns across America? I think I'm going to take the brush mower across America and just clean up the weeds one property at a time, because I tell you, it is just like, it looks so sloppy and overgrown, and I feel, when you live out here in the country, a lot of people take care of their property. I'm not talking about that, but there's other areas that are just no one knows if it's their property or not, and who's going to spend the gasoline with the cost it is now. So you got these wooded areas and some overgrown lots here and there. It just looks like, you take a wrong turn somewhere. It looks like you popped into like an episode of Last of Us. Just shit is everywhere.
And I wonder too here because, like, seems like the past year, last summer and this year, seems like it's getting worse. Maybe like the right of ways and stuff around Ohio used to be well maintained, mowed regularly and stuff. And here lately, it seems like it's not. It's getting overgrown.
Yeah, gas is so much they probably got to space it out.
That's
quite
possible.
Might not have a budget for it.
That's quite possible. But it just makes everything look like shit.
Yeah.
It seems like the garbage collects more and stuff. Out to our property, we're constantly mowing and keeping things maintained out there, keep it clean, keep it up to Mike's standards as much as we can.
Yeah, you never know. We were also talking about YouTube Shorts before we were going on, and so when you say, Mike's standards, I landed on like this video where this Marine officer was talking to a cadet, and he wanted to like, I'm making up things here, but Marines got 10 or 15 standards, and can you tell me one of them? And blah blah blah. So you never know when Mike is going to show up at the property, and I'm going to have my list of standards, and I'll be like, Mr. Helmer, recite to me one of Mike's manifesto's weed standards, and tell me why we need
keep
to
the honeysuckle at bay. Trim around the trees.
The Japanese knotweed. I'm seeing it sprout. Why hasn't that been maintained? Why aren't we digging up those roots and burning them?
Definitely. I would. Need you to come out sometime as an inspector.
Cosplay.
And let me.
Did you see?
Let me know.
Speaking of cosplay, we were talking about World Cup just a minute ago. Have you seen in like I think it was Peru? They were they're having like watch parties for the World Cup, and they had undercover police officers dressed up as mascots, cosplaying as mascots, and so then they're watching people do drugs and everything like that. They surprise.
Hey.
So, yeah, I'm gonna be like I'm gonna just show up in like a Terminex outfit or something like that.
There you go. Yeah. Hey.
Mosquito.
I'm here to spray for bugs.
You guys got Mosquito Joe out there? That franchise?
No.
Yeah.
No, I like the name.
Yeah.
No, we don't have a Mosquito Joe. We've got the Mole Man.
I know. I would trade Mosquito Joe for the Mole Man. Goddamn fucking moles.
Our cat in the past week has killed 3 of them.
Oh, cheap.
Oh my God, I love her.
Wow,
I love her. Yeah, she'll be out there like in the grass, and all of a sudden, she's sifting around, and next thing you know, she fucking comes waddling up into the fucking patio with a fucking mole in her mouth. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, God damn, you got another mole.
My dog not the other day, a couple months back, started like scratching into the dirt like she was at the beach. And I'm just sitting there thinking it's cute, and all of a sudden she got down pretty deep and she fucking hit wires.
What?
I'm like, fucking like yanked her out. I was like, you're not fucking taking my internet down. Fucking had to cover that hole back up. I was like, Christ.
What the hell?
And then the other day I'm walking her and she's got a toad in her mouth, a dead toad that she's been like, so I tell my wife, when I go on the afternoon walk, it's an hour respite from work. It's a decompress hour, and I can't be zeroed in on everything the dog is doing. Sometimes my mind is just going off and I'm dreaming of whatever. And so for about a week, she's been hunting this dead toad on the lawn near the high school. And most days, I'm like, tuned into what she's doing. And this day I wasn't. And because, when she starts pulling, I know she's going for that damn blue toad. The thing is so dead, it turned like blue.
Ugh.
And yeah, I was zoned out, and I looked down, and there's fucking frog legs flapping out of her mouth. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Well, I think we know why the dog's not feeling well now.
The dog was not feeling well yesterday. That was the toad incident. The toad or frog incident was a couple of weeks back, but I keep saying to the family, the festering frog is paying dividends.
So a little bit of frog legging or something happening.
I think the change of food from puppy food to adult food could be the catalyst. Who knows?
That could be. That could be something.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yesterday was my wife's birthday. And I might have been in tune to this, but I didn't realize it until I got to the register. I might have heard this in passing, and then when I got to the register, it was shock and then anger. So I got a cake, I got a card, some candles, flowers, or whatever. And not that I pay with cash anyways, and that's probably why. But there's a big sign at Whole Foods when you're checking out saying that they no longer have pennies, that the U.S. Mint is no longer printing pennies, and that if you pay with cash, they're not going to be able to give you it right down to the penny, which is fascinating.
A lot of places around here, they're saying they're saying they're going to round up or round down to the nickel, and then that's going to be that.
Yeah.
But you ever heard anything and say, if we owe you 3 cents back, we're not going to give you anything back?
Well, I didn't read the sign to it could be like what you were talking about, but they're going to round up or round down, but it said, we just don't have pennies anymore. Part of me is going, okay. The other part of me is going, well, what happened to all the pennies that were in existence? I guess, sometimes, having worked in supermarkets when I was a kid, yes, you would see that you would get your till when you would go when you start your shift, you go into the room and you count it. So, at the end you should have the same or whatever. Mm-hmm. And yes, you were getting rolls. Mm-hmm. So maybe they weren't always new pennies. They weren't, shit could be rolled. No. Shit could be re-rolled that's already in currency,
Old nasty old pennies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's where, most people are collecting pennies now and putting them in their jars in their bedrooms or whatever. They're loose change. I'm okay with it. I hate pennies. I think they suck. I think it's stupid. But, money is money, right? So there is that part of it. But yeah, that's been going on for quite a while now. Where it costs more to make a penny than what it's worth. So that's one reason why they stopped. And a lot of places going cashless now, so you got that going on.
Yep. I get it. But it was shocked. Just people of our age seeing currency getting phased out is always weird.
Oh sure, yeah, it's a whole new thing for us. Absolutely. Shit. Back in the day, go up to the little corner store with a stack of pennies and buy a bunch of candy, some little red fishes, some cherry bombs, some Boston baked beans.
Oh yeah, the candy store, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. That was awesome back in the day.
I'm going to skip around here a little bit, Matt, but what else is being phased out is no more retail Steam cards. When they're gone.
Yeah.
When they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah. Now, have you found a reason why for that, or
just having worked in billing, payments, fintech industry, it is a not just Steam cards, but gift cards in general have high fraud. It's how people layer the fund, layer funds, scams. So that's what just comes down to that. it's just too much of a pain in the ass, too many scammers. And, for a while there, you couldn't find them at all, right? And then they must have printed up a whole bunch of them. And then they were like at the end of every aisle in a drugstore or supermarket or whatever. But it was kind of quietly put out there in one of their FAQs that can I buy Steam gift cards? And it goes on to say, in 2012 we launched Steam gift cards. As we've imposed more and more restrictions, scams have evolved. These scams continue to affect Steam customers and other unsuspecting individuals. Therefore, we've made the difficult decision to discontinue the Steam gift card program at retail stores. Once Steam gift cards are sold out in stores, we will no longer replenish them.
Interesting.
So, the penny and the Steam gift card going the way of the dodo bird.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Get them while you can now, Matt. I know you would like. Yeah. I know you would like those as gifties.
I do. I like getting Steam cards.
We'll talk about Steam here in just a minute. For a while, we're going to be talking about Steam, but before we move on, do you know, sir, that 2/3 of Americans play an hour or more of video games per week?
I can believe it.
They come to our house. I mean, like, you sure it isn't more like 15, 20 hours with all the kids and all the devices doing stuff?
Those are rookie numbers.
When do people sleep? Per the Gaming Industry Lobby Organization, 212.3 million people in the U.S. between ages of 5 and 90 play video games every week. This is a silly question for me to ask you, Matt. When was the last week that maybe, I would think maybe you go to the farm, you got a busy work schedule. It's gotta be a long time. I think when I went on vacation, even when I went on vacation recently, I brought one of my handheld doodads, right? Gaming every video game every week. And, I was at my son's graduation the other day. And, you really don't know how slow time goes when you have to sit in a hall and listen to, 300 kids' names being. And, these kids were sitting there in front of me. Their brother was graduating and just, I don't know, they looked like they could have been anywhere between 12 and 7, two brothers. And they both had cell phones, and they were playing video games on the cell phones. I couldn't tell what game it was, but it was some sort of platformer that he was playing. And I think this number here, video, I think it's probably, I haven't read through the whole article here that's on Variety, but I would venture to guess that video games is being here used as a wide term. Even if you're playing a game on your phone, they're going to call that a video game.
Yeah. I was through the article here at the end here. It says playing on a mobile device is the most popular across all age groups, 80%, while PC and console gameplay is more common with Gen Alpha, Gen Z, and Millennials. So they're putting in here, phones and tablets and that. So say you're Candy Crush and Angry Birds and stuff like that are included with this. But that's a lot. I could see it. I can definitely see this being some legit numbers here that they're reporting, especially with phones.
There's like a whole different way of thinking about that, right? Like everybody's got their phone on them. So of course, you got time to kill at the bus, lunch break, in between
train ride to work, something.
In between, you work from home, in between, dinner and the end of the day, or 15 minutes in between a meeting or something. And then also, because everybody's got a phone, it's almost like a necessity. And things are getting so expensive, sometimes the phone is all people can afford. Like, hey, I need this for real life stuff.
Yes.
And these things aren't subsidized anymore like they used to be. And so I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to do my computing on here. I'm going to do my web surfing, my shopping. And you know what? I'm going to do my entertainment on here, including video games. And if you get a new phone, like me and you have, I mean, I don't have the latest one, but it's about 2 years old. Mm-hmm. It can play way more than Candy Crush.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know, you can get some good, the way the phones get more and more advanced, you can play some good video games on them too.
Yeah, Barb definitely with her phone. She does all of her computing, banking, all that stuff. Dealing with the things we got going on. She's well capable of doing all that stuff on her phone. Mm-hmm. Taking care of things instead of on a laptop or computer or something.
Matt, I see over here. I'm more like a. I was going to say Inspector Gadget, but it's more like what's that? What was that guy with the phone, the shoe phone?
Oh,
come on, it's right on the tip of my tongue. I want to say Agent 00, Agent.
No, was it? No, it was Get Smart was the show.
Yeah.
Get Smart was the show.
I'm more of a. I'm more of a rotate guy these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see that.
I like to
look at that.
I like to rotate.
It looks like something new you got there.
Yeah. We'll be talking about something later, and the guy's name will pop into, or you could just go to the Google machine, I suppose.
Yeah. Don't want to tell us on Discord.
But yeah, yep.
God damn it.
So a lot of people on their phones gaming. I'm not a big phone gamer. I've played the toilet games and other things like that. But I can't say I've tried to. I've dabbled in those things where you put the phone in. And ultimately, what I want to do. Ultimately, I want to take all right, I've played on the phone for I don't know, however long I played the game. Let's say I played the game for 30 minutes. I need to check. I want to check my. No, I can't check anything because I'm on the fucking damn phone already playing the game, and I'm in landscape mode.
Yeah, exactly.
So I need this thing to be just by my side and not be the gaming device.
Well, I mean, and for me with my phone, I got an older phone and it still works flawlessly. But even still, like playing games on my phone, I'm still worried about battery life on my phone. Getting through the day and stuff like that. So I don't want to waste all my battery in that on games to where it's going to, if I actually need my phone, all of a sudden it's dead. At the end of the day, Mike, what is your phone percentage, your battery?
Well, see, I work from home. I'm saying from here. Only Mac can see what here means. But, so I'm always, plugged in unless I forget.
Okay.
I'm not always plugged in, but, yeah, so.
So you're probably pretty high up there at the end. Like, for me at the end of the day, my phone is probably a higher charge than what it should be. Like, at night, when I go put it on the charger, my phone sometimes is at, 50%. At the lowest, maybe 30%.
Yeah. I will burn through the battery pretty good if I'm not charged. I walk a lot, so I got Spotify going when I'm on my walks, which I could do a whole nother podcast on, of going for my walks with my dog in the neighborhood. And then, some podcasts I am completely fine, okay, listening with. I mean, it's all gaming related. I'm not listening to like Joe Rogan or something off the wall. But, I love listening to Jeff Gerstmann and some of the stuff. One time he was talking about, he was a little kid and they were going on a field trip and they were on the bus and there was some guy in his car like naked. And it was just relaying that story, talking about that story, and I get I'm deaf as they fucking come. I've blown out my ears a long ass time ago, so I get the phone absolutely fucking cranked, and I'm like walking through the neighborhoods, and he's like, "F this, tits that, blah blah blah," and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I gotta remember I'm like in the neighborhood here, You
don't use headphones?
I want to know if something's coming up behind me with the damn dog. I got to make sure cars or anything like that. I don't have any headphones on. I'm fucking cranking it in the neighborhood.
Holy cow. I couldn't do that.
I do it. What are we talking about? Agent 86, Agent 99?
Yeah. Anyone come up with that name yet?
Well, that's Maxwell Smart, right?
Maxwell Smart.
Agent 86.
Yeah. I don't remember the agent number, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what we were talking about. I lost my train of thought there with the phones and we were talking about the percentage. Yeah. So I walk around, with Spotify. Always got the YouTube for the tinkering to watch. And I'm not good at closing out of apps, so that probably doesn't help my battery either. I probably close out of my apps like once a month. You know what I mean? So by the time I'm probably like, I got like fucking. I probably get like arthritis in the finger after I'm done.
I'm constantly during the day swiping up to close shit down. Constantly closing shit down. Oh my God, no.
I do.
No, oh God. Oh, it gives me the willies.
I do it constantly.
Constantly. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Probably about once a month I do it.
Oh. Your poor phone.
I mean, it's like that commercial. It's like that commercial, Matt, with do you remember the commercial? The how many bites to get to the center of the lollipop?
Lollipop, yeah.
How many swipe
two.
ups does it take Mike to close out of all his apps? 1, 2.
Well, it'd be more like fucking the count from Sesame Street. One swipe up. Two swipe ups. I can see you now doing it. I can see the reflection in your glasses. There's like 1,000 things open.
Finally, they're all done.
We're going to be here all night.
All right. Fucking Christ. off the rails already. All right, let's get to the good stuff here. Matt,
people are gaming.
I know, the Patreon numbers aren't what we want them to be. They've been a little low. So, I put a request in for sound effects, for the crinkling of the paper when I give you the name of the games that you got to write down. The money just hasn't come in through the sound effects, so you're still going to have to do the manual crinkling of the paper. It'd be great if you weren't muted, and then it would work.
I'm not muted. I'm not.
The headset is so good, it's not picking it up.
Wow, it recognizes the background noise. God damn it!
What will they think?
I wasted a piece of paper on that.
Oh boy! All right. I feel like I got some strong contenders for you this week.
Let me open up my Steam here.
I told you about this one already, so you're already aware of this. This won't be a surprise. Tattoo removal simulator.
Yes.
You remove tattoos for a living. Oh, there's a butt on that one. Let me just show them removing one off a lady's ass.
$25.
Yeah, it is. If you remove tattoos for a living, every client comes with a tattoo they no longer want, symbols of once eternal love, mistakes that refuse to stay in the past, jokes that didn't age gracefully, and secrets asking to disappear. Make the past less permanent. It is not having good ratings. It's got mixed reviews, only 52 reviews. It has a demo, though, so if you want to download it.
I tell you what, buddy, this game, I'm watching it right now. This looks almost as good as Power Washer Simulator. Holy shit.
Well, while we're talking about that, let's talk about Mold Washer.
Oh. Hold on a minute. Wait, let me put this in my wish list. All right. Add to my wish list. Okay.
Clean moldy messes as a brave food hero. Equip your high-pressure spray, choose the right nozzle, and clear away sticky messes in the cozy arcade-style fridge cleaning adventure.
What's it? It's not Mold Washer. It is.
Mold Washer. Clean that microwave. Not as it's more graphically. It's more attuned to Balatro or Racoin.
Yes.
Than
It's
it
got
is
that blocky bit
pixel art.
16-bit pixel art. Thank you.
Yeah. Now this one, I'm feeling this one. I got two left here for you. This one, I think you're gonna give some you're gonna give some serious thought to this one here. I think.
Wait a minute. Wait, I got all right. Add on my wish list. All right.
Disc Golf Masters. The world's first true disc golf simulation. Play real courses, throw a real disc, and step into the shoes of the world's top pros. Read the wind, find your line, and rise through the ranks to claim your place in disc golf history. And it has a demo. Demos are making a very strong comeback on Steam. A lot of demos.
Thank God. Have you ever played disc golf, Mike, in real life?
No, I have not.
Very hard. Very hard.
The game looks beautiful. It looks beautiful, though.
This game looks pretty good. Coming soon, early access. Add to wish list. Plenty of games on my wish list, people. If devious Mr. Matt.
No, this last one might be a stretch, but we got to have one on there. You Are the Monster.
This golf game looks pretty good.
This one's called You Are the Monster. Ever wanted to be a giant monster rampaging through a city? Experience mindless chaos as you destroy all in your path, earning new abilities, new monsters, and new ways to wreak havoc.
Just an updated version of Rampage.
It's made by one guy, Joshua Hughes.
Oh.
You want to be a giant, I don't know what that thing is. Squid? Rampage?
Looks like a hermit crab. It's
a kraken.
That there's he just went through a church, and this seems like something that could cause some havoc and some fun, possibly. Interesting. Now, I did, Mike, when I started typing it in, You Are the Monster. When you type it in, stuff shows up. You Are the Judge came up. And that's on my whip list. Apparently, I guess you're a judge. You're the judge.
Like Judge Judy? Is that what we're talking about?
As a judge of the Cabarad Court, solve complex cases inspired by actual events. Your decisions will directly affect people's and perhaps yours lives. You may have to make difficult decisions for your family, country, and life. What kind of judge will you be? This is interesting.
Would you be a lenient judge or would you be very stern?
Depends on the case.
You know what is happening right now, Matt? What
is happening?
If you're on Steam, if you go to like the main page on Steam,
the main store page.
Yeah. Steam Bullet Fest. Yes. I have a crippling shmup Bullet Fest addiction right now. I think I got like some 20 odd games in my cart. I still don't think it goes. I still don't think it goes over like $55 because they're all like 99 cents, $1.99, $2.99. Some of these games are some a real old classic shmup.
Geometry Wars 3 is on sale.
Yeah,
came up on that list.
There is a lot of.
Wow, there is a ton of games on here.
Yeah, not very expensive either.
No.
Now I just got to remember to buy them before the sale ends tomorrow.
Oh, is that when it? Oh, all right. Well, I got. I'm putting. I'm getting Geometry Wars right now. Then.
Gabe thanks you.
Yeah.
Got to keep that yacht afloat out there.
Well, I'm putting my $8 in for it, $7.49.
There you go.
Yep.
All right, let's move over to what we have been playing. Work has been busy. June has been a busy month with birthdays, graduations. This coming weekend is a one-size-fits-all party. It's, mainly for my son's high school graduation, but it's also my other son's birthday, and it's Father's Day. So, because of my schedule, I still get to game at night because I'm not doing any outside yard work after 9 o'clock at night. But my mornings have been somewhat busier, and they'll be busy tomorrow morning, doing all sorts of yard stuff. I'm trying to keep the lawn. I mowed it yesterday so I can mow it next Saturday, and then the party's on Sunday. But I still have been squeezing in a lot of gaming. I have been, if you've been listening to the past episodes, I've been playing a bunch of Skyrim, and then the news broke that the Witcher content was coming out, new DLC, right? We talked about that last episode, and I have restarted Witcher 3, and I am fucking neck deep in Witcher 3, probably closing in. I got to be close to 20 hours by now.
Holy shit!
I've already done the Bloody Baron, quest line, and I'm not sure if you remember any decisions you made, but the game came out in 2015. So in 2015. I was somewhere around, depending on when it came out, 39, 40 years old at the time. So 10 or 11 years ago, I was about killing everybody and anything, right, in the game, right? So there was some decisions you made in the quest of the Bloody Baron, like the tree. Do you remember that tree that was like haunting the hill? And you went underneath, and you could either kill the tree or you could free the tree. And then if you freed the tree, it rescued the kids at the three witches. Anyways.
Yes. I remember three. They were ugly as fuck.
And I remember fighting them.
I did too.
But I didn't have to fight them this time. Maybe I have to go back there, but I think I'm done with that whole quest line.
That was a long quest line. I think it ended with you fighting the three witches.
Yeah. So I didn't have to fight them at all because I went with total different scenarios this time. So I did not kill the tree, and I said that the tree could go free the kids, and of course the woman who's taking care of the kids is the Bloody Baron's wife, right? Mm-hmm. So. Because the kids got away, the witches cursed her, turned her into one of those sea hags or whatever, and then you break the curse, and the witches duped you anyways. She was dying, so once you lift the curse, she dies like 2 minutes later, and the Bloody Baron's supposed to give you some loot or prizes or whatever, and he says, "Meet me back at his place." You go to his place, and he's swinging from a tree. He killed himself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't have to fight the witches at all. And, she died, he died, and that's not how I remember the first playthrough.
The first playthrough, I went through, I must have did it because I killed the witches. Then you went back to him, and he was alive, and he was alive and stuff.
Yeah, so I did it the other way. He committed suicide, and then the wife dies. And then there's also, you ran into that other sorcerer, not Triss, not Yennefer, but the other one. You show up into her like underground lair, and she's like in the bathtub, showing.
Yes.
I didn't kill her this time either. I killed her the first time because she had like those notes of like to do like some testing on people or whatever that maybe you felt was like inhumane or something like that. And I let her go, so I didn't kill anybody like this playthrough, and I didn't really consciously think of like making different decisions along the way. I was just playing, and then once I saw the Bloody Baron hanging from the tree, I was like, I decided to be nice this playthrough and just let everybody, save the kids, blah, 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 not killing the witch or the sorcerer, and everybody's alive except, not everybody's alive. Being nice killed everybody except the sorcerer.
That, I mean, it's like a whole new game then for you.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
A whole new game.
It looks great on the PS5 Pro. It struggles. It struggles a little bit in Novigrad. With it feels like they put a lot more people in the game, like around towns. It gets a little framey here and there. It's amazing how some stuff I can just recall, like remember as soon as I do the mission or whatever, and then some stuff I have like no recollection of at all. Either I didn't do it or I just can't. It wasn't memorable enough for me. But a lot of stuff instantly came back, like when you're with Dijkstra in the bathhouse, and then you got to go after that other guy, Horson, and you find him. Radovid's got him hiding out somewhere, and Horson's in Oxenfurt, and you go find him, and he slaughtered all those women, and the women are like hanging and everything like that. And then you end up beating the piss and killing him. So stuff like that I remembered, instantly. But there was some other stuff I was like, well, I don't remember doing that at all. But
I know that. I mean, I met the whole Bloody Baron quest. That was almost a full game in itself. Doing that was a long quest. That was a big quest line. Doing all of that
with the botchling that you turn him into a lubberkin.
Yes,
lubberkin.
Yes, yeah. Man, but now that so you're playing on the PS5. Is it like an enhanced version or just the regular? Did you pay anything to make it look good? It's just a regular version still?
Yeah, it's the PS5 version. It's the next gen version. I don't think there's a PS5 Pro version, but there's a, Xbox Series X PS5 version.
Okay, so right? I played on a PS4, right? And we know the incident that happened there where Noah gave it to his ex-girlfriend. Along with games and shit. So I downloaded it again on my PS5.
Yeah, you should. As long as your save was in the cloud, you should be fine. But I played it. I didn't want to. I just wanted to play completely over.
Well, yeah. I was near the end of the game. I was in Act 3. But will it be I'm going to say the PS5 version where it's going to look good? Or, because I haven't really started it up yet, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, you got to, I have the complete edition, and I don't have no recollection if that was just given to us because I bought the base game and that just, was like.
Showed up?
Yeah. So what I do like, of course, this is CD Projekt Red, and they do this for Cyberpunk as well. When they put out the new DLC, like a new expansion, if you play it over, it all like blends into like one story. So it's not like you complete the game and then you play the DLC.
It's intertwined with it.
Like they tell you it's like the expansion content, like the missions will have a special banner on them. I haven't been able to play them yet because you got to be like a higher level, but they're already woven in to the main game. So it's not like you're like, oh, I just finished this. Now I got to do all this DLC. You play it all in one sitting. Mm-hmm. So I definitely am, one of my all-time favorites. It's awesome. It's really good now that I'm close to like level 15, so I'm slicing and dicing dudes now. In the beginning, and I hated the early struggle where like fucking drowners were like, a slog to fucking kill, but now and I just forgot how violent that game is. You do those strong attacks. You're popping guys' heads off. You're slicing them in half. Their legs are going everywhere. Arms coming off. Yeah. Yennefer still looks amazing.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah, it's good shit. Good shit. And some of the series stuff I didn't remember. Like I think she's got like that quick dash. I have no recollection of that. When I played that the first time. That was like stuff I was talking about. Like, I remember playing as her, obviously, but I don't remember the quick dash or holding down. I think if you hold down like the R2 button, she'll like attack like a whole bunch of people Like, if you got a crowd of people
I
there.
remember that.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's stuff that got added or I'm just, completely having a brain fart. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
I do remember, leveling up. Well, I say leveling up, but like assigning the skills was kind of a challenging thing at times because you had to like collect things and combine them sometimes to.
Well, you have
further.
you have the square blocks, and those are like those are your upgrades, like fast attack, strong attack, vitality, whatever. And then on the right hand side and left hand side, you have these diamonds, where you put your mutagens in. And if you
that's it. Yeah.
If you match all the colors, you get some sort of extra bonus. So if your
mutagens,
if your mutagen is red and you got all the attack ones, then you'll get some sort of, extra bonus attack or something.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so having a lot of fun. I have not looked up when Skyrim came out versus when Witcher 3 came out. I don't have that off the top of my head. But Witcher 3 is just such a fucking superior game, in my opinion.
Skyrim came out a lot earlier than Witcher 3. Because Skyrim I was playing on...
If you had a guess, a lot earlier, like 4 years, 5 years?
I would say something around there because Witcher 3 I played on the PS4. It came out on PS4 era.
So it's about 4 years.
Skyrim came out Xbox 360. I played that on.
Skyrim came out November 11th, 2011. And I want to say Witcher came out September or October 2015. Something like that. So about a 4 year... About a 4 year difference.
Yeah, I
just prefer The Witcher over Skyrim.
I think that they had. I think Witcher was more graphically a lot better than Skyrim. Little more on rails than Skyrim was. But I think they're both great games in their own category.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So other than that, a lot of Forza. Not as much as you, which we'll talk about here in a minute, but played some Forza. Not much tinkering, but I'm getting back into the tinkering here as I showed the Maxwell Smart device here. I just opened it today.
Yeah.
This is the...
oh, look at that.
This is the RG Rotate by Anbernic. So, you can play it, just have it like this, be like a music player, watch videos or whatever, and then you slide it open, and then you can play it like, a Game Boy or something like that. It can play up to PlayStation 1. So I'll be dabbling in some of that.
Now, did that come already programmed with stuff, or you have to go through and do the things that you did? Is it the same process with that, or something different?
This is an Android device, so yeah, I'd have to. The devices that are a little easier to set up are the Linux ones because you're just downloading an operating system. So let's say if this was Linux, you would take an SD card and one of these things to your computer. I'm holding up like a USB stick that can
thumb drive.
Yep, and you would flash the USB card, the micro SD card. You would flash it to whatever operating system you want. Mustard OS, Spruce. Maybe Spruce is the right one. But there's a whole bunch of different OSs that you could flash it, and then you pop it into your device, and it just boots up. And a lot of those things will do the heavy lifting for you, putting on the emulators, and then you just got to supply the games yourself.
Okay.
Android's a little bit more involved. You got to download everything, and customize Android. None of it's rocket science, but it's a little bit more involved than just flashing something and putting in the memory card. But what I did try to do is I have behind me right there is the original ROG Ally, and I tried to put the EmuDeck if you get EMU Deck is like for Steam Deck, and now they have it for ROG Ally, it will put all the emulators and all the customizations for you, and you just kind of get up and running. But then it wants to put it in Steam, and it just felt like too many front ends to get to a front end, and I didn't like the experience, and I didn't like adding all the games, the ROMs and everything to my Steam library. It just was not the experience I want. But I do have the Switch emulator on there, and that's very good. Runs the Switch games no problem. So I might be doing some more tinkering with the ROG Ally, just putting the emulators on there one at a time and, putting the games on. But I think the worst part of dealing with the ROG Ally is the whole Windows, I don't know if for some reason you see how small this device is here, the RG Rotate. I have no problem seeing the text on here. But I don't know what it is with Windows, man. I mean, the ROG Ally is a big honking device, but anytime I just can't see, I'm always like going, what is that? What does that say? So I got to hook it up to a monitor, and I have a mouse and keyboard, and so it's just more involved. But this is, I can sit here, do this, boop, 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 and can be good to go.
I have the same thing with my Ally and my Steam Deck, right? Where on the Ally, some of the games is harder to see versus on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because they're both about the same size. But the Steam Deck, I can see things a lot clearer and easier than you can on the Ally.
No.
And it must be something to do with that. Yeah, the whole Windows interface or something.
And I have the, I don't know, I'm sure if it's the text or the view, whatever. There's some sort of setting, whatever they call it. I have it cranked up to like 150. They recommended was at like 75%, or I doubled it, and I was like, this still doesn't look any bigger than what I want it to be. So I got to hook it up to a monitor, and but yeah, is what it is. Tinkerers. What's that expression with the baker doesn't come home and bake, and the bricklayer's front porch is never done. So a tinkerer's work is never done. It's just always in a state of flux over here. It's like,
yeah.
I do got to clean things up though for the weekend. I assume people are going to want to let me see your house. Family members that haven't been here before, give me a tour of the house.
Fucking bullshit. Lock that room up.
Yeah.
Ain't no.
You come in here, you're gonna be like. What, fucking AliExpress give birth in here or something? Is this like an AliExpress, warehouse? This is one of those times. Is this a shipping hub?
This is one of those times that I wish I was closer to you. I could be sitting down there in my underwear. And you'll be oops.
Don't mind him. He's just a bean counter.
Don't mind him. Oh shit. Dipping warehouse rally.
Why does it smell like a... you listen to some of those handheld podcasts, man. Some of those guys are in it like just as deep as I am, and they're like, yeah, I just got a whole bunch of handhelds in, and I'm at the point of my addiction hobby that I'm smelling the boxes so I can smell what it smells like in the warehouse when they're assembling these things. And I'm like, wow. That is another level. That is another level of that didn't even...
That's something.
But, what do they say, Matt? Batteries and buttholes. What do they say about batteries and buttholes?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to know. I know 9-volt batteries, you put your tongue on it gives you a little shock.
Yeah, you shouldn't put your tongue on it, but you do anyways. Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah, we know that. These areas have been drilled. No, not really. They haven't been, have they? All right. You have been playing a lot of Forza.
Yes, I have.
Getting all the mascots, getting all of the billboards. Are you aware?
Most of them.
Are you aware of the bug out there? Have you been saving? There is I guess
Not on my own, no.
I guess there's a nasty bug out there that can wipe your saves. People have been reporting that they log into their Forza and everything is gone. Got to start over.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Johnny, I don't want to hear that bullshit. 9:00 at night. You sleep.
Because I have gone through. I've collected 100% of the mascots.
Ascots? No, we're not playing. We're not playing a Scooby-Doo simulator. You're playing.
I've got 95 to 97% of the bonus boards. I'm going around now trying to get all the ones that are on top of buildings and shit like that. I've got quite a few of those. I got quite a few of those done. I've uncovered all of the roads that I can right now. That's a lot of cars. Done a lot of shit. I haven't progressed in the story though. It's you and I thing that we've been doing, but it's a fun game to come home and chill to, and relax and drive around, in different cars, and just have fun. You can go through and wreck shop with driving through the forest and shit like that and stuff. Go back and redo races and stuff. It's a fun game. The game looks great, and for a person like me, with the collecting the billboards and stuff like that, once I see them out there, I gotta have them. I gotta see it, uncovering the roads, all that. So it's well worth it. It was a great game. If it wasn't on PC Game Pass, it would have been well worth the money to buy it. Fantastic. Cars are wonderful. So it's been good. I really enjoyed playing that game.
It's a very well made game, right?
It is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, with the exception of the character models, they should even have people in there. No. I don't know what the whole point of that is, but there is the character models leave a lot to be desired. But other than that, the variety of cars, variety of maps, events, ease of use, getting in and out of stuff. As long as you're paying attention. I don't know. I don't know if that's a Forza issue or if that's an Xbox issue. If you're playing in co-op, you really got to be in tune, like what's going on, because it's not like crystal clear. It's like up at the top. I don't know. I get it that they don't want to take up the whole screen. I think that would be a minor gripe. It's easy as long as you're like, hey, I'm going to do this right now, and you're expecting it to come up. It's pretty easy to get into stuff. But if you're just cruising around and someone sends you something, you might not see it.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike and I have that problem a lot where it's like, all right, send me an invite. Then, 5 minutes later, you get the invite? No. All right, send it again. Then I got to be watching and making sure that, all right, okay, here it is. That type of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess
then there's time. Yeah.
I guess it's doing well for Microsoft. And
that's good.
I don't think it's not on PlayStation, right? It's coming later to PlayStation.
Not yet.
I think the last game sold really well on PlayStation. So
yeah, it'll probably do well again. It looks great on PC. Sure, might look a little bit better on my Xbox if I'm playing on there, but I don't have it on that. But it's good enough.
I had to stop playing on PC because I was running into frame rate issues, and I don't know if that was you were telling me there was a memory leak or something, or if it was I don't know what it was, but every so often I would have to quit out of the game and reboot the game, and then that would clear it up. So that sort of leads to some sort of memory leak because something's building up over time, and you got to sort of clear the cache by quitting it and restarting it. So I've just moved over to Xbox to play it. Fuck it, I ain't dealing with that shit.
Yep.
So yeah, they got a hit on their hands for sure. Eagerly anticipating whatever they're going to announce. I don't think this is just a one and done, right? They must have more content coming for it, I would assume.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole. I don't know if it's going to get locked in the game or not, but there's a whole other area that's shaded out for me right now that you can't get to. There's like gates on the roads and shit. So I don't know if that's DLC or if we further along in the campaign we unlock that. I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet, but I have to see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The map's huge. A lot of empty spots on the map. So
now, all your time doing this, have you been away from Crimson Desert?
No. Great segue, Mike. I have been doing some Crimson Desert, especially the past couple of days. Getting back into that, playing that. Fun game, good game. Always learning something new. The game can be a bitch, though. Like today, I had to go on a quest. Another tutorial thing with dyes. Like to dye your clothes or whatever. Throughout this game, I've been collecting dyes from either stealing them or buying them or grabbing them or whatever across the land. Okay, I have all these dyes, and today I'm going through a quest, which is like a beginner tutorial quest. Where you to dye your clothes and stuff like that. So you can talk to this guy, and then you gotta go and you create a dye. It's in your inventory. Okay, and then it says use the dye on an item. Okay, so you gotta go to a dye house. Okay, you talk to the guy, and then up comes your equipment in that where you can dye it in that, but everything's black. Can't choose colors in that. I say, well, so I'm looking at the dyes. I got the dye in my inventory. How come it's not letting me, dye the color? Blah blah blah. I'm looking. It's like, what the fuck? So I get out, going through my inventory. Yep, there's the dye. And then I look. I was like, I hover over the dye. It says, you hit the X to use. I was like, okay. So I hit X to use. Next thing I know, I learned like 1,000 fucking colors of shit. Okay. Then I clicked on the yellow dye. I learned all the like different shades of yellow, the gray, the black, the blue. I was like, the game didn't tell you that when you had a dye, you had to like learn it, right? So now I go back to the dye guy, and I got a rainbow of colors.
He's overwhelmed
and everything. So I got right. I got a rainbow of colors there that can do whatever the hell. I was like, what? The game doesn't tell you shit like that.
It wants to think you're an adult, Matt.
I guess. But no one would have known that. No one would have known that. You see a jar of dye in your inventory, you think, okay, that's a dye to dye something. No, you got to learn the fucking thing. Now I'm fucking Jesus in the coat of colors walking around this goddamn place. It's but doing that, going along with the main story still and side quests and that. It's I bitch and complain about the game a lot, but it is a good game. It's fun. It's very deep. It's beautiful. The controls are wonky, but it plays well.
On my social media feed, it seems at least once a week the game is getting the update. Are those updates coming to PlayStation just as frequently as they are to Steam?
Yeah, like this morning when I logged on, there was an update to it, and I can tell some things have been fixed or been worked on. Because used to be when you killed a bunch of people, like you would hover over somebody and it would take forever to loot them. Now you hover over them and it's right away. You can hit the button and it loots them, and it's very quick now too. Getting the loot out of them. So there's things like that. I guess they improved I don't know how else to put it, but like the pick selection for stuff seems to be a lot cleaner now. to choose what you want to pick up
I'm telling
and grab.
I tell you, when the holiday season comes and they get those holiday sales on, I'm gonna have a hell of a time with this game. It's gonna be all it's gonna be all polished up and ready to go for Mike. Put in the work.
Well, I'm working out the bugs for you right now, buddy.
Oh,
so just keep that in mind. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With your underwear on.
So yeah, I've been playing. It's a good game. Yeah, Forza and Crimson's been what I've been doing the most. Did a little bit of Power Wash Simulator that with the DLC for Adventure Time. Did a little more of that. I noticed when I logged on to Power Wash Simulator, there's advertisement. There's some Star Wars DLC coming out next month, I think. So I will be picking that up. Looking forward to that. That should be fun. I got Lego Batman. I gotta play that. Yeah, that's probably about it.
All right.
That's what I've been up to.
Well, of course, last week, it's been about week and a half since all those summer showcases wrapped up. I think, maybe Nintendo's was last Monday or Tuesday, but Xbox was a week ago. PlayStation was on the Friday. Summer Game Fest was on the Saturday, or maybe Summer Game Fest was on the Friday. I can't remember. Somewhere between 7 and 11 days ago, these things were going on, and because we're bi-weekly here, we're going to just do a little catching up on some of these. So I'm not sure, Matt, where you're at, if you've watched all of them or just watched trailers. I'm a little bit in the middle. So I've watched the whole PlayStation thing. I finished the rest of that today. I watched all of the Xbox thing because that wasn't as long. Some of the Summer Game Fest I might have missed during work, but I think I got most of that. I think the thing I haven't really watched a ton of was the Nintendo one. But having said that, I feel like I'm up to speed on what I want to play, what I think are games that I'm interested in. I'm curious to hear from you. Is there things that you came across and were like, that looks really good, I want to play it?
Yeah, I know that one game is Magicians, the Devil's Deal.
Yeah, that had sort of like a BioShock Dishonored feel to it. Maybe more BioShock than Yep.
Yep, that caught my eye. And then that 1666 Amsterdam on PC. It's by a French designer. Kind of looked interesting also.
There's I'm not sure if it's not a demo, but a prologue, prequel. The prologue is out on Steam right now. You can play it.
Oh, really? Okay.
They released a day and date. I think it's free too.
Cool. I know my son Noah is interested in Gears of War E-Day.
Yeah, I watched a ton of that. Obviously Microsoft let off with that, and then they had at the end of their showcase, they had an exclusive, 20-ish, 30 minutes of taking a deep dive into E-Day. It's interesting to see those characters younger, not always in their military cog gear, but it looked like more gears, just more competent. Looks spectacular. So yeah, I'm eager to play that. I got a chuckle out of it where Xbox is calling that an exclusive. They were calling it a console exclusive. So yeah, it's coming everywhere except for PlayStation and like Epic Game Store. And obviously, that something like that wouldn't be on the Switch yet. It's too new to be on the Switch too. But it is coming to Steam, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it's not like the only place that you can play that is on, Xbox, PC, or Xbox, the console. You can also play it on Steam if you want nothing to do with Microsoft, so to speak. But it is a console exclusive. It is not coming to PlayStation. And I think that was, as much as they can say, oh, we've been talking about this for months and only a handful of people knew over the last couple months, everybody else is going, your nose is growing like Pinocchio, and you made that change at the last minute.
Another game that caught my eye, Crazy Taxi. The new Crazy Taxi coming out.
Not very familiar with the first one. Obviously, know of it. Never played it, but
It's a highly popular Sega game.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, with the Offspring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kind of a over the top driving game. You know,
They're
a lot of fun.
They're catching a lot of flack right now because they admitted that they use Gen AI to, I guess, prototype stuff, and so.
Yeah,
they're caught up. They're caught up in some of that drama.
It's unfortunate. I think there's going to be good AI and bad AI, and it's just going to be unfortunate that some people that maybe because they don't have the resources or what have to use it.
Well, Ubisoft is supposed to be making their next Far Cry game. Is supposed to be their test bed for like major game made by AI. So we'll see how that goes. You think you wouldn't fuck up one of your tentpole franchises when you're
absolutely
when your company is almost burned to the ground as is? But
it's like Nintendo saying the next Mario is going to be AI.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. Anything else that caught your eye?
I think those are the three I saw. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that came out. A lot of things, a lot of good games. But there's what caught my eye. That Magicians, I think I'm really interested in that. That Amsterdam, the taxi game.
I'm
not much into fighting games.
I think for me, the things that I was expecting look really good, and I'm still interested. They didn't lose me as a customer. So Wolverine, looks like a lot of fun, bloody as hell. That looks like that's going to be a really good time. Like you said, Gears. The new God of War game looks like a Sony Santa Monica joint. Playing as Kratos' wife, that looked really good. So those ones that I was expecting, I was like, yep, checked all the boxes. I'm still interested in them. I was pleasantly surprised with the Halo campaign Evolved. I thought that looked really good, especially what they showed of the 3 new missions. So that's nice that it's not just, the same game, reimagined, but there's also some new content in there that people have never played. So that's good. I'm a big fan of The Wolf Among Us. I thought the first game was really good. So to see Wolf Among Us 2 finally coming out, I'm excited for that. I am a guy that has no prior history of playing any of the Fable games. But every time I keep seeing the new Fable game, I am more and more impressed over time. So, that might be because I'm in like the Witcher Skyrim type of mode right now. That might be like my most anticipated game, potentially. I just think it looks really solid. So we'll see what leads with that. Of course, they moved that to next year because of GTA. Right? They wanted to get the hell out of the way. We were talking about Forza earlier. There's a new racing game called Clutch. That looks like it's could be compelling. It's a driving game with a story. I think it's made by a lot of industry veterans that made prior. I could be speaking out of turn here, but maybe they were involved with some of Bizarre Creations games or Forza games. They got a lot of racing pedigree. Whoever these people are, it's making Clutch. So that was good. The first Until Dawn game was decent, pretty good. So it's interesting to see them come back with that. Of course, they made a movie out of that one too. So, I got to say, I'm not big on dinosaurs, Matt. They're not something that incredibly interests me. There's that game, The Lost Wild. It looked like a Jurassic Park type of game, but people are saying that the trailer didn't do that game justice. that it is a lot more involved than what they showed in the trailer. So I'll watch that from afar and see what happens there. The Tomb Raider looked good. It's not Uncharted, but it's like, feels like Uncharted, so that will scratch that itch. There's some other stuff too that maybe didn't speak to me, but still looked really good that, I will watch and see how it shakes out, and maybe I'll be into it. I think the last thing is the other exclusive from Microsoft, the Clockwork Revolution, in Exile's making. That has always looked interesting and strong from the time they introduced it. So that's finally going to come out next year. So I think there's a lot of good stuff coming down the pipeline. And then I think, as we segue in here to talk about Xbox, it's going to be interesting. Where are we going to be playing these games? And I've sort of maintained all along that there's nothing wrong with the systems we have at the moment. And, as we segue here to talk about Xbox, Asher Sharma had a 100-day reset memo that was sent out to employees, and then she also sent it out to the press. And she talks about memory and storage and RAM crisis and how it's grown. And I think when it's all said and done, they're going to be paying 7.5 times more than they did a couple years back. And that's how bad it is now and how much worse it's going to get coming up. So I keep saying to myself, then what is the push to get these new systems out the door? I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. I mean, they say PlayStation 5 sold 90 million units, and they say Xbox has sold about a third of that, so that's 30 million units. So I think from Xbox's standpoint, you can see maybe why they want to get something out the doors to reinvigorate. But PlayStation, man, by the time a holiday's done, you might have sold 100 million units of the PS5.
Right.
Why ruin all that goodwill? I mean, you've already hurt it a little bit by continuing to raise the prices. Unless we're going to get into it here in a minute. Unless they can come out with something that's cheaper and different. So let's just get into it. I mean, Xbox, I thought, had a really strong showcase. A lot of good games. The messaging I thought was good. Some exclusives to keep people invested. They lowered the price of Game Pass earlier in the year. Just the lineup of games they had, I thought, was really strong. And then, less than 24 hours later, it's like total fucking doom and gloom. It's like they couldn't even give themselves a week to sort of soak in. Yeah, Xbox is, they're doing, they're listening, or they're turning the corner. Nope, it's like the very fucking next day they had to do whatever they did. And I think the first thing I found very interesting, if we think about, I hate to bring politics in there, but usually, you say usually, because we know that there's a guy in office right now who doesn't do this, but usually the new president doesn't come in and blast the old guy,
Correct.
And I feel like, when you read these things that Xbox, they're not coming out and saying Phil and Sarah fucked up, but everything you read is like, we didn't do this. We haven't been paying attention for this for years. I listened to one podcast and they said it was kind of classless, and I don't know if I want to go that far, but it was a little shocking that on every turn we've been fucking up, and we got to stop fucking up.
I mean, yes, I can kind of see that in this letter here. I think the biggest one is when they're talking about the acquisitions they made. They spent $20 billion on investments in content, platform, hardware, but their annual revenue has declined. I mean, that's pretty tough to throw on everybody. Because I'm not sure, Phil wasn't saying, hey, let's go do this, right? I mean, Xbox, Microsoft is a big company. A lot of people to say what to do and what not to do. I don't think it was just him. So that's I think that's kind of pushing it. But I mean, she is coming in, saying a lot of stuff about what they need to do, kind of get back on track with being exclusives, consoles, Xbox, all of that stuff. Kind of bringing in the reins,
This line here was one of the one thing I was talking about. While the entire industry is facing a component crisis, we believe we have been impacted more greatly than many of our peers due to the choices we've made over the last half decade. There's many different ways I can look at that. Asha, you're in this fucking shit neck deep because your company is a big player in AI soaking up all these resources. How does it feel to have your own company giving it to you? You're in this component crisis because your own company is soaking up all these resources. I mean, that's one thing. And then the other thing is, she's saying that, the choices we've made. So the choices made, she's saying, is maybe Phil and Sarah and whoever else is on the hardware side didn't forecast this well enough to pre-buy, to make contracts with the memory and storage and RAM people ahead of time to buy stuff like Sony has maybe. And so they have to go back to them and saying, now we need you to make consoles for us. And they're like, sorry, the allotment is already spoken for, or sorry, the allotment now is, 5 times higher than it used to be, right? Where Sony might have some of that stuff still on hand because they bought ahead of time. So yeah, that was, I don't know if me and you care about that, and I don't know if me and you need to know about that, but here it is. We're reading it, right? And
well, I think we knew that, right? We've talked about many times on the show here. The hardware, RAM crisis, all that stuff. So it's nothing really new. I'm not sure if that's actually Phil's fault. He might have been pushing them to do stuff, and they said no, we're good, right? But in Microsoft in general, sure. That's a problem. I
will give, Asha credit that I think, she is,
yes,
she's going full steam ahead. And it's interesting. They say their profit margins were 3%, right? So after everything they spent, they made 3%. They're not in the red. They're in the black by 3%, right? Mm-hmm. So they're still making a lot of money. They're still doing very well. But that's still not good enough. And you sort of have to separate your own life, Matt, from this sort of thing because it's not our reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 3% for us is not a lot compared to 3% for them. 3% for them, they're still making a ton of money.
Microsoft makes so much money they could easily subsidize Xbox still have a lot of fucking money. And
yes.
What it is, the rich want to get richer, right? And so It's like, I'm not crying a river here at all for any of these companies, and especially not Microsoft, because like I said, a lot of the pain that they're having right now sits squarely on their shoulders because of their involvement with AI and the poor decisions that we are reading about here. I think the disappointing thing is that they've had all this goodwill. They're turning things around. But I think between now and the end of the month, their fiscal year ends on June 30th. You're going to see a lot of people let go. You're going to see a lot of studios.
Oh, sure.
Studios are going to get cut. It's going to get ugly here. And that is very unfortunate. But maybe that's what needs to happen for them to turn this around for whatever they feel is not working. I just think wild times are ahead for Xbox. The layoffs are going to be one thing. They said millions of people unsubbed from Game Pass.
Yes.
When they raised the prices, so they have come out with a cheaper one, and they say they're getting some traction on that. But you and I know if the number is true, if millions of people have unsubbed, millions of people aren't turning around and resubbing unless the price gets really, really cheaper. So jumping around here a little bit, this new guy that they have, strategic, chief strategic officer or something like that. His name's Matthew Ball. He's talking about, many people were reporting at first in-game ads, and he quickly came out and said, that's not what I'm talking about, that, you're not going to be in a boss fight and all of a sudden hit with an ad. But he was comparing it more to Disney and Netflix with ads. Now, I don't have those services with ads, but I have Amazon Prime that has ads. And I will tell you, you're watching the show and then all of a sudden an ad comes up. So if he's comparing that but not saying in-game ads, I guess I need a little bit more. So you start the game and then it has an ad. If you're like does it know to put like the action is still going on the left-hand side and then an ad comes up on the right? I'm trying to think of the times I've seen ads come up on Amazon Prime when I'm watching something. And I think more often than not, they know like when there's like the scene ends, like they just don't throw an ad there in the middle of the scene. There's some sort of segue, right? Like this, a transition. And maybe that's how. So what they're trying to do is come up with ways to stabilize their business, inject more cash into the business, and saying, do we need to lower Game Pass? And a way to lower it is by coming out with an ad tier like Netflix and their other competitors.
I tell you, Mike, if I'm playing a game like Crimson Desert or Forza's another thing. We'll talk about that in a minute. But like Crimson Desert or Witcher, okay, and I just got done doing an epic battle, something, or I'm going through a cutscene, and if all of a sudden an ad comes on for another game or for some bullshit like some of these YouTube ads, I'm going to be pissed off.
No,
that is, it's like, what the fuck? This is bullshit. Now, but go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, but take Forza on the other side, okay, or MLB or Madden, and you put ads in there like a truck driver can buy that says Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whatever. That's something different. Or billboards.
I don't think that's driving. I don't think that's.
I know. It's not, but it's like.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah. That's another way to bring in. But his quote here is: ads should be used to offer more affordable alternatives alongside today's ad-free experiences, in the hopes more could play as a result. Similar to how Netflix and Disney Plus have ad tiers with all the same content, but at half the price or so. He also noted that these ads do not refer to in-game ads. So yeah, that I think is like splitting hairs, because to me, Netflix and Disney Plus has ads in content, right? Like you're seeing it at the beginning, and I'm pretty sure like in between transitions, you're getting ads, like a regular commercial if you're watching something on regular television.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just advertising in general is just getting so bad. Or they're throwing ads there, and I don't know about you, but none of these ads I see on YouTube or Netflix or Disney makes me want to go out and buy it.
Right. Yeah. It's like, how quickly can I get this off the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was saying there's a two-sided problem. Costs have gone up way too high on development. At the same point, everyone feels terrible with prices going up on hardware or software or microtransaction. That is a challenge. It's not good if this is the only option. I think the best evidence comes from the TV streaming space. In excess of 100% of net ads in the United States for years and years have been on the ad-supported tier. That has not excluded anyone from ad-free experiences. Those products are still there. They're still popular. The question is not, can we cram ads in everything? The question is, are there opportunities that allow the people who can't afford or wouldn't try to have an onboard to our properties and franchises? I'm telling you, these people all sound the same. I think people only deep in the weeds with, like, my brain that fucking never turns off, right? When I listen to sportscasters that all come from Syracuse University, to me, they all sound the fucking same. When I listen to people like this guy and other executives, they all must have went to the same business management school, because they all sound the fucking same. And that's a Mike problem and not anybody else's problem. But just,
no, you're right. I mean, they all use the same business speak, the same buzzwords and all of that. Yeah.
So, yeah, they've lost millions with Game Pass. They're thinking about ads. This is kind of an aside. And I was thinking about this as I was watching the Gears of War trailer that opened up the Xbox thing. Now, Asha Sharma has a lot of background in business and everything, but she's under 40 years old. And she admitted she has not played a lot of video games in her life. I would have loved to have been in the room, Matt, when they, I imagine they've watched this whole thing and made edits to the pacing and everything like that. And the very first video that they're showing her of the opening is Gears of War, and some dude gets chainsawed in half. I would just love to see. This is neither here nor there, and I just the commentary of it, like someone who's not really in tune to gaming, and the very first thing that they sort of see in their first showcase as the CEO is just blood and gore everywhere, and dudes getting chainsaw in half.
Maybe a subliminal message.
Or just
this could be you.
Or just it's like, and the analogy I want to make is like, your parents don't know anything about heavy metal, but the first thing you're going to put on for them is Slayer. And they just think everybody in heavy metal, sings about Satan and everything like that. So you put Slayer on, and of course, if you played a lot of their older stuff, there was satanic tinges in their lyrics, right? And so you have someone who doesn't know a lot about video games. They're just killing people. It's just blood and gore. It's just something. Kids shouldn't be playing this shit. And the very first thing you show her is fucking dudes getting hacked.
Is that? Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, layoffs I think are coming, and I thought another interesting thing is that they're considering new business models. So this is a quote. She says, "Look, we're on hardware. We are in a crisis right now. The entire industry is. There's a shortage of memory and storage, and the costs are exponential. They are usually at a point in the generation about 50% of the cost, and we're seeing that they're up 2.75. They're up 50% since they started. They're going to go up effectively 7.5." So she says, pricing is a lever, of course, but we must think about other options as well. We must think about other ways to think about the cost construction of the console. We must think about how we create different plans so more people can participate in the console. We must think about partnerships that will allow us to have better distribution and reach, and we must think about the experiences that we're creating outside of that as well to reach new audiences. So I guess there's three things I think of when I read that. Helix is going to come out, and it's going to appeal to a very small sub-base of people that can afford it. Mm-hmm. They're going to partner like they do with the Asus ROG Ally X. They're going to do more of that, get that sort of Xbox OS out there for more devices. That's the partnerships that she's talking about. And how to create different plans so more people can participate. And I think they're going to make a big cloud push again. Shore up some of that stuff. So I think a lot of it is good corporate speak, and maybe she can get some of this stuff more aligned. But I think a lot of it is essentially business as usual, right? Phil and Sarah were doing the Helix, which is the boutique item. They were always pushing. Yeah. They were always pushing cloud, and we know when Phil and Sarah were in charge, they had the ROG Allies coming out anyways. So. Some of this could be window dressing. Some of it could be improved over time, but they're going to come out and try to get as many customers they want in various different ways. Is that how you're seeing it, or are you seeing anything different?
I think so. They're everything we talked about today with the Xbox, everything going on. They're going through a rebuild, a rebranding almost. I think they're trying to get back to the gaming basics. I think Project Helix kind of muddies that up a little bit, maybe. But I think they're trying to get back to where they were.
What's interesting is Satya, the CEO of Microsoft, said they're no longer going to subsidize Xbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
For 25 years, they've invested into. They're no longer going to subsidize it. They're thinking of maybe potentially spinning it off into its own subsidiary, like Microsoft owns LinkedIn, Microsoft owns GitHub. They might do the same thing with Xbox. And that means they got to be profitable. They're not going to subsidize it. So they're going to be doing some bold stuff. And I am curious, man, if they're going to get rid of Helix. She says, and I know it's tough to back out of contracts, but she went on to say, she didn't go into specifics on the different plans. But she said, I think we will continue to look at new business models. I think that is what is needed for console rather than just the most premium high-performance console in the world. I think we've reached a point where it'll be hard to imagine that mass audiences can afford thousands of dollars to spend on a console generation. And so I think we will start to see radically different business models that we had never expected to come into orbit later this year. I don't know. I don't know what the penalties are. I don't know how these contracts are written up. If she can go back to the people and say, you know what, yeah, that was the plan with the prior leadership, and that was the plan when prices were such, but now that prices are much different, we got to pivot. We'll be dead in the water if we release a box that's $1,200 to $1,500. We got to come up with a switch to where we have a dock for our television, and people can go out and buy, the $500 white Xbox ROG Ally, and they can play that in their hands, and they can buy this dock, and the dock goes to your television, and you can play your games. Is that the radical different approach here? Do they make a better Xbox Series S that has some more cutting edge technology, but is still around $500? I don't have an answer on those, but I think that's when you read that stuff. She says, no, we're not going to do what we need to do if we release a box that's going to be $1,500.
I think contracts now can be renegotiated. Could be difficult, for sure. I think they're open to everything. They're putting all options on the table as far as what's next, and they're trying to figure out what's going to fit the model for most people. I think most people like you and I talk to, I think your typical console type experience might be going away. Look at this Steam machine. It's going to be expensive. Steam Deck.
That's the perfect
price is going up.
That's the perfect segue, Matt, because you said, what's next? And I met with my financial advisor earlier in the week. We had to get out. We had to have a face-to-face.
Yeah, what did Lynn say?
I said to Lynn, are you aware of the Steam machine? Are you aware? Well, at first I said, are you aware of Steam? Oh, yeah, I'm aware of Steam. Those are those cards. I says, well, you can't buy those anymore. And I said, are you aware of this thing called the Steam machine? No, not aware of the Steam machine. I said, this is what the Steam machine is supposed to be. It's like a cube. And it's going to fit under your television, so you can do some PC gaming on your television. And I go, you got to get in on the ground floor with these things now, because it's not like the old days where you'd buy something or you didn't buy something actually, and then you waited a couple of years and it'd be cheaper. Now it's like if you don't buy it, right in the first 100 days, it could go up exponentially over time. So I said, as my financial advisor, what is the ceiling? What are we looking at here as a number that, a threshold that, And she's taking all this under advisement and didn't really respond. She didn't say no, though. She didn't say there was no.
So there's a chance. There's a plus here. See, unlike your wife, if I were to go to my wife right now and say, "Hey, I want to buy a Steam machine," number one, it'd be like, what the fuck is that? Are you buying a new heater or something for the house?
Yeah, we're going steampunk. We're getting rid of everything. Everything's just
everything's gonna be steam now.
It's gonna be real moist in this house. It's gonna be.
Do I get
the wallpaper might come off.
Cold deliveries. Go start getting cold deliveries. Two different things happening there. If I were to say.
Well, I think that is imminent. I was making the prediction that people would have the steam machine and the steam frame in their house by July 4th. I think I could be a little off on that, but they just said Valve brought in 13 tons of hardware the other day. And I'm not sure, you're more of a logistics guy than me, Matt. 13 tons, is that a lot? I have no idea.
A lot. That's a lot. 13 tons, man. Because yes, like 13 tons of, hold on, God damn it, of these like RAM sticks. That these things don't weigh much. Okay, so you put 13 tons of these, that's a lot. Now 13 tons of bricks, not so many.
I think it's 13 tons of steam machines and steam frames already built.
Okay, that's a lot. That's still a lot, man.
They handle the shipping themselves, I believe. I don't think that's done like.
I mean, a ton is 2,000 pounds. So you're talking 26,000 pounds.
Tons of fun. I want to end on a non-gaming story, Matt, but something we have talked about.
Oh.
And at my son's graduation, afterwards, there were students that were smoking cigars. Okay, we had this conversation, and they seemed to be smoking them, I don't know what the right way, confidently, right? It wasn't like it was their first time smoking cigars and they were hacking up a lung and coughing or anything like that.
They weren't turning green or anything like that.
And the reason I brought this up, there was a story a few days after we had this conversation where another high school had their graduation and some seniors on the lacrosse team, and they were like in some sort of tournament ongoing even after their graduation, were caught on video smoking cigars post-graduation. And this was some sort of violation of, I don't know if the high school rules or the league rules or whatever. And there's been a lot of back and forth that they knew that that was a rule and that they were fake cigars. And there was a debate over were they real cigars or fake cigars. And as a cigar aficionado, do you think kids should be? I don't know. I think when you're 18, I think, my rules, you're 18, but you still live under my rules. If I don't want you smoking cigars, you're not smoking cigars. But not allowing them to play because they smoke cigars after graduation, I don't know. It's
well, for one thing, tobacco under the age of 21 is illegal.
Oh, see that? Didn't even think of that.
So you have that. Granted, parents can choose to just like alcohol, right? You could go to a restaurant, and you could buy your children alcohol, and they could drink it legally. Now the restaurant can say no, but I mean, it seems pretty wild. I know I wouldn't allow my kids to do it at graduation and that. I don't know. It's an interesting situation going on there. Sure. Yeah, now, go ahead.
High school drama, investigations going on, fake cigars. The only fake cigars I remember having when you brought
now, if they're fake or whatever, I mean,
they don't look fake in the photos. They don't look fake in the photos. Yeah. But what I was going to say, we talked about the candy store, the penny candy in the beginning. Remember that I had the bubble gum cigars? They have like blue and they were like yellow. They had like
blue and yellow and pink.
And they had like the little paper thing on them. Yeah.
Oh, you had the candy cigarettes.
Yeah, the candy cigarettes. Yeah, probably just like pure sugar. Those white ones, right?
Yes, they were.
I remember, and then I was also a big connoisseur of the probably not appropriate anymore, but the Fortune gum. It's like, it was like a comic strip. It was like, it was like a long piece of just a gum that would get bad within like 2 seconds. It was like in a orangish black wrapper, and it would have, I think it would have some sort of like Asian, like almost like a, fortune cookie, but it would also have like a comic strip in it as well.
I mean, I remember the Bazooka Joes had comics on it.
Maybe but this was like Fortune gum. So maybe it was just like a fortune cookie, but with gum. This is a long time ago, Matt. You got to go back 40 plus years.
Fortune gum, orange wrapper. Oh,
yeah.
Fortune Bubble. It was called, Mike.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Fortune Bubble.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can buy it. You can still buy it.
No, yeah. Buy it up.
$7.40 for a 48 count box. I do not remember this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at the artwork on that. Probably not.
Yeah, it's definitely got the old. Yeah. Yeah. I do not remember seeing this anywhere.
Yeah, used to buy a lot of it. It was like a penny. It was like a penny for a stick,
Yeah.
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 All right, sir. Well, we covered a lot. I look forward to moving on from this Xbox stuff and getting some clarity down the line on what they're going to do. I'm very, very eager to hear about Valve and their Steam machine pricing to see if it fits in with my financial plans.
Hopefully it does.
And then I'm anticipating playing more of The Witcher 3 and playing some of that DLC that's embedded in it. So,
yeah. That make me want to go back and play it.
Mm. Yes, sir. All right.
I got so much shit to play.
You haven't even cracked the seal on Pragmata yet.
Fuck no.
Mm-mm. And Halo's out the end of next month. About a month and a half away for that. So, all right. This has been 59. I guess when we reconvene, and we'll talk about 60.
69.
Oh no.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.